attorney because it takes time to get to that level, right?
Mhm.
I don't have time to as a woman, when I get pregnant, that means I got to take off work. To have a baby, maternity leave. Then I got to raise this baby. So I don't have time. I can't really grow my career having kids. I can. It's just make it harder to do so. And especially if you have more than one kid, you can hang it up by that time. So most women that are career focused are focused on their careers. So by the time they realize, oh shit, I want to have a baby or I want to get married, probably the men, that's the black men probably that are in their age group, ain't checking for them. So then they realize, oh damn, I'm 40 and now I'm single and no kids. That's probably what happens typically.
Yeah, it sounds like it sucks.
That's not how that happens, but
Then how's it
I
happen?
think so.
How does it happen then, Corey?
well, I can see from my personal experience, it's not how that happens. But yeah, I think you know, no matter what age you are, you'll still be able to find people in your age group that's available that are searching for people in their age group. Everybody's not looking for someone 10 years
I'm
younger
not
than
saying
them.
10 years younger per se, but like for example, I know men who make $500,000 and up, right?
Hmm.
And so these are black dudes, and these are black dudes who are like 35 and 40 age group. So like I know them personally, and like I know like they don't date people who are 35 and up. They date people who are close to 30, 29. And one reason they do that, because from what the conversation that they told me, it's easier one to get a younger woman to kind of like just kind of go with their program. Once you like 37, you have life experience and you can
Right.
kind of read through their bullshit. So if I'm
The
29,
younger woman be cooking every day.
yes, they kind of
Yeah.
go with the program because they're so excited to have a man who makes this much
Easier to
money.
mold them.
Yes,
Right.
they don't have to mold. They're easily molded. For somebody like me, who
So
then
that's
is
what it
40
is.
and like, I ain't doing that shit because I don't want to. So like,
Okay.
there's that too.
All right.
I mean, it sounds like this old woman syndrome y'all got ain't working.
It don't.
It ain't making no sense.
What was it?
It's just like this old. I'm old and I know a lot of shit syndrome. Like it seems like it's ineffective.
Yeah, it's probably
Um,
It's not ineffective. It's just everything has its consequences,
yeah.
like that's just a reality. If we choose to focus on our career, then we're compromising not having children, and we're compromising not having a
Yeah.
marriage, and if we choose the marriage and if we choose the children, then we're compromising maybe not getting that far up the ladder as we
Mhm.
would have if we would have remained single. So it's just, I mean, but that's a compromise everybody makes. Like men make it too. It's just it looks different. And I think for women, especially black women, it's we are still dealing with having to fit into a box that we no longer want to be in. And that's just the nature of the world right now. Like we're really doing really well for ourselves right now, and we're having to deal with getting up there in age, and not wanting to stop our grind, but realizing that the pool of men that we have available to us is dwindling because they're getting married, or they're just out there still wilding, or whatever the case may be. So our pool gets smaller the older that we get, and that's just that catch 22.
I think I don't know because I mean I have a different experience than most people. I had my kids super early. I got married at 23. And I did the whole family thing until my kids were old enough. And like being in the divorce stage, dating at this point has been fruitful because most of I think the men that you're referring to, either they don't want to have kids anymore, right? They're older, maybe 42, 43 plus. They make enough money. They want somebody that they could travel with, that still can hang, that still has a youthful look without having any young kids to take care of. Like my daughter's 21 years old. Like I could get up and go. So I think it just depends. I think it just really depends on everybody's. I guess if you're looking for marriage, there's some women that aren't looking for marriage or kids. So that you could still find somebody. But I mean,
I also think too, just back to some conversations we had, a conversation we had some time ago. And speaking to the Ash's point about age, I also think too, specifically with Black women, we are taking the time to, we are more educated now. school takes time. And a lot of times for us, we want to make sure that we have that independence and that we're doing what we need to do so that we can take care of ourselves in any event of having a partner. A lot of times for us, we want it, but at the end of the day, because we are not depending on men anymore, we're wanting to make sure that we are set, we are okay. So a lot of times what happens is that we are focusing on our careers. We do not want or need the distraction. And then we get to a certain point and it's just kind of like, okay, this is now I'm ready. I feel like I'm in a place where I can be equal to my partner. But then, as you mentioned before, like, the dating pool does get smaller. They're thinking about kids. They want someone younger. And when I think of men wanting younger women, I think too, the older you get, the more life experiences that you have, as Ashley mentioned. And then you're also stuck in your ways.
Yeah.
You're stuck in your ways. So with me, if I've been making my own money all these years, you're not about to come in here and think that you're going to tell me this is what we're doing, this is what we're not doing. Because no, I work too hard to just throw it away for you to come in and think that you're going to tell me what to do.
Correct.
Yeah.
But we also cross off the men that's in their 40s. I personally do. If you're in your 40s plus and don't have kids, never been married, I'm not dating. Like,
why would you cross that guy off?
Red flag. You just told me that you were 42 and just got married. I would cross you clean off the list.
41,
like,
but I'm a good kiss and I'm a good guy. Why would you?
Well, they're good for your wife.
Exactly. And my wife was 37 when she got married, so she's in the same category of women y'all talking about having a hard time. It worked out for us.
Right. Well, it sounds like you both followed the same path. Like, you figured things out first and then came together. So there's those group of people too.
I'm trying to figure out why you wouldn't be interested in me. I don't really like that.
No.
Corey, have you seen yourself?
Hey, wow.
Do you know
That's
yourself?
And you don't have any children either, Corey?
No, I don't have any kids. But it sounds like you want someone with baggage. Like, why would that be attractive to you?
I don't think kids, depending on the age, like if you have younger kids, I'm
They
crossing
baggage.
that
I don't
off.
care how old they are. They baggage.
I mean, for me, you asked me.
Oh,
You didn't say what
my
you
bad.
would do. You asked me why would I want. I would date. I don't have a problem dating someone with older children. I don't want anybody with younger children because I've already passed that stage of life. Yeah, I've already passed that stage of life. So, you want somebody to have fun with and hang out, but I'm not going to take you seriously if you have young children. And I mean, I've met successful, great people, but there was a guy that was like at 52 that had a 5-year-old. We're not doing that, sir.
No, you made bad decisions, sir. Sir, you made bad decisions.
No, I mean, he was married. His wife, he was married. His wife died. He's an attorney. Like, he's a professional guy.
He made bad decisions.
No. I mean, he was married. His wife had passed of, like, I don't know, some kind of illness. They just waited to have kids later in life. Very successful man, but
So if she kicked the bucket, I mean, that should give him a little bit of grace.
No,
Okay, but imagine
he overworks himself. He overworks himself.
So imagine
he
if
owns a business. He has like 3 other jobs. No, I don't have time for that.
And then imagine
if
little
kids.
51-year-old gentleman is trying to date someone in his age range, right? And if I'm 45 and I'm dating this 51-year-old, at this point in time, I'm like, most men in your age group don't have 5-year-olds, are not going to kindergarten graduations.
Right.
I don't want
I'm not doing that.
At my big old age, I want someone who's going to do things that are age appropriate. And I mean, people are having kids at all different types of ages. However, me being 45 and you being 51, I'm expecting you to be in a different stage of life.
Yeah.
Not when kindergarten graduations and
women got too many stipulations, man.
And you know what another thing I just wanted to address is, like, I guess, like, black men go to school a lot. You know what I mean? So I guess that's cool. But the average income for black women is only $41K. So, like, what is this so-called success that black women are seeing at these phenomenal rates? Like, how do you equate it? Because if it doesn't come in the form of money, does it matter? Because you got a bunch of degrees, like banks, I guess. A lot of paperwork. What, you gonna be a social worker?
Absolutely not.
Social worker. What else? What, like, I mean, what is all this going to? Oh, we got a bunch of psychology degrees, but we don't have the certifications and we don't get the PhD. So then we can't really do much with it. So then we work at Enterprise for $32,000. Like, what?
I mean, there's black men doing that too.
No, I know because the median income for black men is what 43.
Yeah, so ain't that high? Ain't that much higher?
Yeah, so there's a lot of like
So,
if he ain't doing this that, and the third, but I'm just trying to feel like what women like what. Yeah, you guys go to school at phenomenal rates, but what's the flip on it?
well, that's a job market issue.
Right. That's a whole nother conversation. And as
That's a
Black
conversation.
women,
Yeah.
we have to be educated. We have to be better than our counterparts. We have to come to the table with everything, with a lot more.
Because because y'all only making 43,000, so my 42 plus your 43. Now we have an $80,000 household because I can't just live off 43. We're not gonna be able to eat, so I gotta work and do something.
And then I guess it also depends on the field that you go into, right? Like I worked right after high school. I went right into the finance field. So like everything that I have is certifications, right? Like I got my Series 6, my Series 6.5, my Series 7, but I never went to college.
Yeah.
And I make a lot more than all of my college educated friends.
Oh, sure,
Well, that's my point. That's my point. Like, there's a lot of schooling, right? It's always like black women are doing these phenomenal things, but we get married at lesser rates, right? We become, by own admission on this, less desirable because we waste time chasing these degrees. But what is it? What is it actually getting us?
I didn't sign up for the school thing, so I don't know.
I
I thought I was doing it at 24, making $50,000. I thought I was big money.
Oh man, you old as hell. So when you was 24,
First of
that
all,
was
I'm 38. Simmer down.
Ooh, ooh.
Simmer down. We're the
what?
same age. What are you talking about?
And then I think too, it comes from in our parents' generation, or in our parents' generation, that was the generation of going to college, right? That was the college generation. My mom went to college, it worked for her, and she was a big advocate of going to college, right?
Right.
Because for her generation that worked. And people were getting degrees and they were making substantially more than people who did not have degrees back in that day.
Right.
Now that's not the case anymore. Now people who are doing trades and stuff like that are making more. It's reversed. But we didn't know that at the time we was in college because we all of us, because it's not gone. But we didn't know that at the time. So times changed on us. Somewhere around 2007, 5, it just kind of like flipped. But we were unaware. So
But Ash, black women are still the most enrolled, the least hired, but the most enrolled.
maybe they're trying to be optimistic. I haven't went back to school to Elizabeth City, so I don't know what they're doing. Maybe optimistic. I don't know. Because the college track for some people does work, depending on what you want to do with it. It doesn't work for most people, but it does work for some people. So
Indeed.